Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So for today's total scrap video, I thought I would use up some scrap fabric and make these lovely little flowers. Now they are so simple to make, and I have done a video probably 3 or 4 years ago now on making them, but my camera angle was different then, so I thought it might be easier to see when the camera's actually looking down. So I've got some lovely ones here. I've got some bits of old fabric, and they are lovely. Now this, you've probably all done this before, but we forget that we've sort of like had these, and the simple things sometimes are the nicest things to add to journals. Oops, lots of little bits of thread everywhere. Now I've tried to make these as sort of like thin as possible as well, so they can actually go into your journals, and I just think they're lovely. You can pop a little bead or something in there as well, but they're so simple to make. These ones that I've made from ribbon as well, so they're just little ribbon roses, easy peasy to make, and I just think they are lovely. Now I'm going to just make some out of this. Now this is an old pillowcase that I got from a charity shop, and I coffee stained it, which is lovely. Look at that, it's beautiful, isn't it? Nice and vintage looking. So this is a piece of fabric. This is probably 12 inches or 30 centimeters, probably by maybe, I don't know, just under an inch wide. So all I'm going to do is fold this sort of in half like that, and then fold this in, just roll it in. Now I am going to be using my glue gun, so I've got my glue gun because that's the sort of quickest way to do it. I think, if I remember, I actually sewed the other ones, or some of them I did sew them, so you can sew them. And then what you want to do is just wrap this around, and then just twist this, just turn it up and wrap it round, and then add just, let me just move these out of the way so you can probably see a little bit better. Pop a little blob of glue on there, twist that around, don't go too tight, and then just, you want to just twist it, a little bit of glue. The more glue you use, well, don't use too much, but and then if you let it go, it's not going to go on sort of like unravel, and then just bring them round, twist around, and add a little bit of glue to it. So just do it slowly, you don't have to go speeding along. Just wrap them around, and look, that looks like a tiny little rose, doesn't it? And I just think they are lovely. Now I just wanted to sort of like add to my stash some little flowers, because I don't really have any. I think I must have used them all up when I made them last time. So just twist it round and glue it. Now I'm not going to use all of that actually. I'm just going to sort of cut that off. So maybe I'll probably use half of it. And then I'm just going to pop that round, stick that in there like that, and look at that lovely little flower, lovely little rose. I think they are so simple to make and easy. Now this is just a piece of just off the edge, it's even got the little holes in it, so I'm just going to use this. Now this one I've made sort of a little bit flat, but obviously the thicker the fabric, the you know, the heavier the sort of the flower is going to be. But these are lovely if you wanted to make little brooches or something like that, a little embellishment to hang from a bag. So just twist that round, take a little bit of glue, pop the glue on there, and then twist around again, little bit of glue, stick that down, and then just twist it. Now you can do these where you just actually twist them. I'm not sure, they're sort of like rolled flowers, I think people call them. Just stick that down. So there's not really any wrong way or any right way to do these, which is nice, and you could probably make quite a few of these. Just sit there, it's quite a nice thing. Oopsie daisy. It's one of those things that you can make if you know, you want to make something, but you're not in the mood to do any sort of like paperwork, or, you know, things to go in your journals. These are nice little embellishment ones, aren't they? There we go, like that, and just twist around. So just twist around as much as you like and make them as big as you like. Like I said, if you've got some, the thicker the fabric, obviously, the bigger your flower is, the thicker your flower is going to be. But I would probably start off, if you've not made these before, because I know we have lots of newbies in the, I was going to say in our group, as subscribers, and in our group as well, our Facebook group. So these are really simple, and it's a nice way to use up bits of fabric. Even if you have an old t-shirt or something that you're not going to wear anymore, you could cut that up. If you're new to sort of like crafting, go and get one of your husband's t-shirts or your partner's t-shirts, and I'm sure they won't miss one. And then you can start making some little flowers. Now I'm going to make another one of these because I want to use some of these. I want those, so I'm just going to fold that in half. Put those out of the way. Again, I'll show you if I got some ribbon. I don't know whether I've got any ribbon here. Just pop a little bit. So this is just a nice quick little one to show you today. I've been doing the Friday freebie today as well downstairs because I've been sat down with Mum and we've been working on the Friday freebie, and it is a lovely one. It does go with last week's, so, and it's really pretty. I'm quite into sort of nice little pretty things at the moment. We don't have enough prettiness, do we? Well, you can never have enough, too much pretty things, I don't think. So let's just twist this round. A little bit of glue on there. Stick those down. Bits of cotton, just twist it round. Like that. And again on this one, which one was it? One of these. I popped some little, what are they? These are little things that go inside flowers. I've got them in a little pot here, like this. So you can buy those. They're very, very inexpensive as well. You can pick those up at craft shops. So I've just sort of like added it in there. It does look a bit like a little bird's nest, actually. So if you're doing a little nature journal, that's quite a good one to pop in there, isn't it? You can make it out of nice, some brown fabric. And then they look like little eggs in there, don't they? So there we go. I'm not going to use all that again. I'm going to just snip that off, twist that round, and then stick it in there. Like that. And that is lovely. Look at that. Looks like a little rose. I was going to try and make some out of paper, but I don't know whether they will work out of paper. Probably make quite flat ones. I wonder if I could try. Let's take a look at this. Lovely bit of scrap paper. Always got this to hand. Let's just take, I suppose you could probably make a flat one, couldn't you? Let's just make a little diddy one. Let's just fold this in half. Let's just see. Obviously this is just recycled Amazon packaging, which I always seem to have on my desk somewhere. Let's pop a little bit of glue. I suppose you could, I think it might rip. I think it probably, you might have to scrunch it. I wonder if you scrunched it first. Because doing that, it does sort of tear it. I wonder if you scrunched it up and just softened it a little bit. Or you could actually add some of that wax that I was using to make the little book covers, those little mini books. That shoe wax I added to it, that would make it quite soft, wouldn't it? Let's just see if we can, that's softened it up a little bit. Oops. So let's just see if we can wrap this, twist it round, just the same. Looks a little bit scruffier, little bit of glue. I suppose you could add as well maybe a little bit of gesso, just twist it. I don't think it's going to be as neat and tidy as the fabric ones. Right, it works, all depending on what you want to do. Let's stick that down, twist that round. Yeah, it's a little bit scruffy, isn't it? Stick that on there, but it's possible. There we go. I suppose you could have a little bit of gesso blopped on there. I wonder whether, look at that glue stuck everywhere. What do you reckon? Scruffy? That's not too bad. It depends what you want to use it for, doesn't it? But it's not as easy as the fabric, but you can do it. Get that glue stick out. Okay, so shall we do it again? Shall we do it with a little bit of the leftover here? Let's just, so make a little, just fold it in like that. A little bit of glue. This is a good mass making one as well, isn't it? So let's just twist this round. Pop a little bit of glue like that. Twist it round. Actually, you could probably do it. I have seen them do the flowers with crepe paper. So you want a sort of softer paper really to do it with. And crepe paper, it's sort of like got a bit of a stretch to it, hasn't it? So you can use that. So there we go, let's twist that round. I'm not sure whether I've made them out of crepe paper. I've made so many crafty things that I can't remember. Oops. Let's stick that on there. Twist that round. Now again, like I said, if you don't have a glue gun, you could probably just pop a little stitch in there, just sew it, which I did on the last ones, I believe. If I remember, I'll pop the video down on there for you to check it out. But beware, it was one that I did in the very beginning of videoing, and they weren't the best, but I'm going to show you now. I'm hoping it's a little bit easier for you to see now. So let's just twist these round like that. A little bit of glue. There is another way to do it as well. If you had like a little round base of something, like a little bit of felt or something, and wrap twist your fabric around. Let's just pop a little bit more glue on there. Look at that. So pretty. Like a little cluster of flowers on there. Would look really pretty, wouldn't they? So there we go. So the other thing, I don't have anything. Let me have a look. I've got this. I've obviously glued it together at some point. So let me just cut a circle out, and I'll show you another way you can do it. Probably not the best as a base because it's shiny, but let's just cut a sort of circle out like that. We will take another strip of this. It doesn't matter what the base colour is. And then what I'll do is just twist this. This is quite simple to do if you twist it, but probably not using shiny fabric. A little bit of glue in the middle. Twist that round like that. And stick it on there. Stick that down, and then you just twist these and wrap it round. And then we just pop a little bit of glue. Twist it and wrap this round, and that will hold it down. So this is quite a nice one, is just if you wanted to sort of like stick it onto your page, into your journal. Obviously use a fabric underneath that sort of like matches the fabric that you're using. Not really that you see it, but might blend a bit easier if you have make a little, there's a little gap or something in between. So just twist these around, pop that down. This would make a nice little brooch as well, wouldn't it? So quite simple. That will just twist and wrap around. Now you could probably, actually what would look quite nice, wouldn't it? If you had a bigger one, you could make yourself a little coaster for your desk. Had some nice fabric. You could just keep rolling, you could just pick bits, and then I could use sort of like a little bit of this, or another coloured bit like that would look nice added to it. Let's go round, keep going. Go. I'm also going to be making a bigger book. So my mini books that I made the other day, I'm going to make a bigger one. These little ones, did I have it here? This little book here, whoopsie daisy. I'm going to be making a bigger one, I think, probably in my next video, because I've got the paper here ready. It'll be this size. I've actually glued the paper on the pages together there, just held it down. So I've just started that, and then we'll grunge up the edges together, but I just wanted to stick it together so I know it's, because it's bigger, it's better to do that in advance, I think. I don't think I'm going to get much more on that little circle, so I'm going to stick this just on the back like that, so it sort of goes on flat. Chop this little bit off. I've got so many things on the go that I want to do that there's just not enough hours in the day, is there? So you can just trim these edges up, and look at that, you've got a nice little flat flower, just a twisted one with a base on it. You could pop a little pin on there, and then you could add some little gem or something in the middle, but that's a nice one. That's quite easy to do actually, isn't it? So, oh look, use that little fly, tiny little fly. There we go. So there we go, guys, easy peasy one today, a nice quiet relaxing one. But I do like this fabric. I think I'll probably use some of this in some of my journals at the moment, because these would go with my Folks of the Forest, which I am getting all the bits and pieces ready, gathering bits up. I have a pot or a little thing box ready, which I keep finding things and popping them in there, ready to go. So I'm all ready. So if you're making one as well, or if you're making any journal, or you're thinking about making a journal, just have a little plastic pot or a little basket or something, and then as you sort of like go around your craft room, you can sort of like think, oh, that would go in my journal, and pop it in the pot. That's what I'm going to try and do a little bit more of this year, trying to get a little bit more organized with making things. So if I'm going to make journals, I'm going to gather all the bits up first, so I know how it's going to go, if you know what I mean. I know what's going to go in there. There we go. I do like making these. I don't think I had any ribbon to make. Do I have a bit of ribbon? I think I've got a tiny bit here. That's what I'll do. I'll show you how simple it is to make a ribbon one as well. Like that. turn this a little bit back like that. So then we've got another one. So aren't they just lovely? Love them. So this is the little ribbon one. Oopsie daisy. And that's this ribbon here. So these come out sort of flat. Oh gosh, glue stick everywhere. So again, let's just sort of like fold it over and roll that little bit in, just so you get the inside of your little rose. Little bit of glue, and then we want to just turn that over and wrap it round, but not too tight. Little bit of glue, glue as you go, and then they won't unravel. And then twist that round, whoops, like that. A little bit of glue. It might be easier actually for you guys to, if you're new to doing this, not for you pros out there, but if you're new to doing this, to do it with some ribbon, it might be easier, because you get something that looks a bit more like a rose. So let's just stick these round. And you can get such pretty ribbons now, can't you? Probably be lovely with seam binding. Maybe I'll make some seam binding ones. Let's just go round. Oops. Look how quick and easy they are to make. And that looks like one of those lovely little, oops, ones that you buy, isn't it? Oops. My glue gun is a bit too hot at the moment, I think, because my glue is coming out a little bit yellow. There we go. A little bit more. Pop that down. Round, just twist it. Super simple to do, but these things sometimes we forget about the things, the easy things, don't we? Sometimes the oldie ones are the best ones. So let's go back, stick this last little bit down like that. We have a lovely little ribbon rose. Just stick that, fold that backwards, mind your fingers, because this glue obviously gets very hot, but it's the quickest and easiest way to do it with a glue gun, although you get all over your fingers. Stick that down. So there we go, guys, look at these. That one I didn't twist as tight, but they are just beautiful. I love them. Gosh, get out my fingernails, it sticks, it just flies everywhere, doesn't it? So there we go, guys. I have a nice little bunch. This is a little netting one, which is quite nice, isn't it? This is one here, and I love them. Super simple. Not quite sure about the paper ones, but I'm sure we could do something with that. That would probably make quite a nice little stamp. Little bit of something on there to do some background of something without throwing it away. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you'll give it a go. Really easy, and don't forget, where did we do this one? Is on the little flat base as well, so that's an easy one if you're starting out as well. That and the roses, but they're all pretty simple. They're all pretty simple, and they come out lovely. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely rest of the day. Stay safe, take care, and I will see you soon. All right, guys. Bye bye.